How about the Chiefs back in the AFC Championship? You know, they used to call the AFC Championship the Tom Brady Invitational. I think we got to change it to the Patrick Mahomes Invitational, as it was scary at times if you're a Chiefs fan. He was out, comes back in. I thought it was amazing in the beginning. Then Henne came in and he made some plays, and then he was able to get stuff done later on as well. A lot of good stuff by the Chiefs. Let's talk about what they were able to do so well. So let's start off here, because what first happened was just the Chiefs really, this was setting up to be an all-time Patrick Mahomes game, right? It was early. You can't say that entirely. Like, I remember in the conference championship against Cincinnati, Mahomes got off to a hot start and then things cooled off. But still, it was setting up to be one of those days, and there was just some unbelievable plays before the injury. Like what happens here, it's a man coverage play, a cover one blitz. That's what the Jaguars are doing right when this play begins. I don't know how Mahomes does this, where he scans the field, and then he immediately says, okay, I'm going to have to try to scramble a little bit. He feels like that's his move, is if he can get outside the pocket on this 3rd down and 6, which, listen, one of the most deadly guys in football. I'll say it, the most deadly guy in football when he gets outside the pocket. You don't want to let that happen. But Jacksonville doing a good job here of not really letting that happen, not letting him get outside the pocket. And you look at him, it doesn't even appear as though he's looking down the field. It appears as though he's looking down, trying to get outside the pocket. However, the second he starts to get tackled, he still throws it downfield and is able to find Travis Kelsey and to get a first down there. I don't know how he does this. These things always amaze me. Again, people will always say, like, oh, the media goes crazy over these crazy Patrick Mahomes plays. Well, I do, because they're absolutely insane, and nobody else does it anywhere near as consistently as Mahomes does. Guys will do it maybe once or twice a season, and Mahomes does it once or twice a drive, it feels like. And there was also just more simple stuff, like he was running the offense very well, something like this, a 2nd down and goal. You have Travis Kelsey, who's going to start off blocking, but then just try to get underneath the coverage. That's what's happening here. Watch how when Mahomes takes the snap, again, you see Kelsey starting off the block. I always feel like there should be like alarm bells going off of like, I don't know, some guys I think you should just treat differently. Like, and Kelsey is one of those guys. If he's starting off blocking, don't believe it. Don't buy it. Make sure that if he all of a sudden lets you go, you cover him. You have someone on him. You have to. Watch how when he lets Allen go by, he gets the ball immediately, and there's just nobody there because people said, okay, tight end's blocking. But if it's 87, it's not a tight end. It's Travis Kelsey. It's the guy that you should be, looking at every single play saying, where's 87? Let's pay the extra attention to him. But just teams don't always do this. And again, Andy Reid knows that, and Andy Reid puts guys in positions to succeed. Yes, I think some guys would just say, okay, well, no one's going to buy that Travis Kelsey would just be blocking on that play, so we're not going to do that. No, Kelsey says, well, let's just give it a shot, and it worked. It got him to here, and this is where Kelsey can do the rest. Watch how he's able to just think. He's so good in open space. It's amazing. He's got to be the best tight end in open space ever. Maybe Gronkowski, definitely. Gronkowski was a little different just because he was just like untackleable. Kelsey's so shifty in being able to make it work. Both so good. Then we saw anything is possible. Chad Henne back into the divisional round. Mr. Divisional Round himself comes in and played well. Something like this where it's a 3rd down and 3. This was, I believe this was the play that, was made him famous the first time against Cleveland, where obviously a couple years back in the year that they ended up losing the Super Bowl, they won in the divisional round against Cleveland. They went for it on a 4th down and short, and Chad Henne ran this exact play, which is, it was to Tyreek Hill last time. This time it's to Kadarius Toney. But you see how far off the defensive back is playing. You also have a receiver running a clear out route. There's definitely a little bit of a bubble where he can get open. Watch as when Henne takes the snap, he rolls out, which again, just gives him a better angle to make this throw. That's the only reason you do the rollout there. It's just an angle thing. Henne is able to hit Toney, and they're able to pick up a play. So again, is this the highest degree of difficulty play? No, but part of me wonders if why we've seen this a bit is I think that, I would bet Andy Reid sort of just, pays close attention to Henne and says, okay, what are the plays I know you can do? What are the plays I can trust you to do? He knows he can trust him to do that play. And so this is why having a backup quarterback that the coach knows well really is, that's kind of why you see oftentimes backup quarterbacks will just stay with the same coach for years and years because of this kind of stuff and because they can, can do the simple things that the offense is requesting. And that's what Henne did on this drive. There were some good runs, and it was just Henne doing the simple stuff. Like something like this was another example of, again, this would be the last pass before Mahomes returned to the game because it was the last pass of the half, but it was a good one. We're running a play action on the jet sweep motion. Again, going with Kelsey here because why wouldn't you go with Kelsey here? They're running a pick play though, and what's very fascinating about the pick play is, so just so you know how the rules work in this scenario, the rule is you cannot intentionally run a route to get in somebody's way, but that's only a rule if you're past 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. And since they are at the 1 yard line, that means that basically you can block guys if you are behind the end zone line, but you cannot block someone past the end zone line unless you make it look like an accident. Basically, that's the rule. Watch as when this happens, you see that. I mean, this is really well done. This is perfectly what you'd want to see by Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He is throwing a block, but in a way where he's basically at the line of scrimmage, so he's not going to get called for this. This would have been a penalty if they were a yard further down the field, but since they're where they're at, this is not a penalty, and now Kelsey is basically wide open. Henne is able to hit Kelsey. They get the touchdown. Again, not the most difficult play from Henne, but you know what? You don't need him to be making the most difficult plays. You need him to be making the simple stuff on a drive like this, and that's how he was able to go entirely down the field and get a big touchdown there. I like this play a lot from the Chiefs, where it's going to be a zone coverage concept that the Jaguars are in. It's actually just a 3-man rush. That's worth noting, but what's also worth noting is, given the fact that Kansas City is going to have 2 players run over the middle, what that's going to try and do is draw the corner and the safety over to them. That's what's going to happen. So then when they run that route right there for another tight end, he could potentially get open, as there could be nobody else in that area. And especially if it's just a 3-man rush, Mahomes will have time to see if this play can work. Look at how when this play begins, Kansas City's offensive line takes advantage of that 3-man rush very well, gives Mahomes time to throw, and look at how wide open this is. This is, one of the easier throws Mahomes is going to have to make of his career, but it's a very good job by Andy Reid and, the Chiefs coaching staff to scheme this up. Mahomes makes a throw. They are able to get into field goal range, although then they got knocked out of field goal range, but then got knocked back into field goal range, and were able to kick a field goal that, as we know, the Jaguars would go back and score a touchdown, so a very important field goal there. But then we saw some Mahomes magic. I mean, that's what it is, right? Mahomes just doing Mahomes stuff. Yes, I'm going to gush over Patrick Mahomes. I'm never going to not gush over Patrick Mahomes when he keeps doing this stuff. Although, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much this little aspect of the play mattered, but I think it mattered a little bit. What happens is it's a man coverage play. There's a single safety deep, so 5-man rush, and it's actually going to be MVS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. That's the route you see on the screen. Going to kind of try to get into the back of the end zone, but you see there is a safety there, and that could be the potential concern of, if you're trying to make that throw, you have to get it around to safety. Watch how when Mahomes takes the snap, he is going to step up in the pocket, and I don't believe the step up was intentional, but I think it still worked in this. And what I mean by intentional, I don't think he was trying to do this, but I think that the safety moved up, or at least kind of stayed where he was at, didn't go further deep, because he sees Mahomes potentially running. If Mahomes does run, the safety is the only guy who has eyes on Mahomes at this point, outside of the 5 guys who are rushing the passer. Meaning for safety, you have to pay attention to this. And Mahomes, who looks up, now realizes MVS does have that true one-on-one matchup, which of course he has to win. But as you see, Mahomes makes this jump pass. MVS did win it significantly. Just incredible stuff from Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how else to describe it other than just, again, it's just that Mahomes magic thing of, even while he's not 100%, still being able to do these incredible plays. So yeah, just an incredible win by them. Very exciting, as really I thought the offense sort of towards the end, those last couple of drives were kind of the difference. You talk about all these comebacks the Jaguars have had. A lot of times a comeback happens not by the offense scoring a ton of points, but by the defense preventing a bunch of points. Well, they couldn't prevent a ton of points in this one. Even a banged up Mahomes still able to do some nice things. So yeah, that's what I thought of this game. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.